Though Faith Academy has already clinched a playoff berth, they still have plenty to play for when they host Temple Central Texas Christian. Head coach Russ Roberts fills us in.
That's the jewel. That's what we want. We want the trophy. No doubt about that. We want the championship. It was ours last year. We feel like it should be ours again this year. But for all practical purposes, that home of that advantage in the first game of the playoffs is just huge. And you said we're both 2-0. That's kind of interesting because yesterday afternoon, according to their website, CTC was 4-0 in district, which is pretty interesting since you can only play 3, and they haven't played us yet. But they were claiming to be 4-0. I thought that was interesting. By last night, they had toned it down to only 3-0. So I guess that meant they'd already beaten us. I'm not exactly sure what kind of clerical error that was, but that's good. That's good locker room fodder. We'll use that against them. They think they've already beaten us. They think it's already a done deal. So we'll see about that.
What can you tell me about CTC's offense?
Well, first of all, let me tell you about CTC. It's coached by Joe Oliver, which is one of my best friends in coaching. Joe's an old guy like me that coached for years. Joe got out and went into administration, but then came back into coaching to bring CTC forward into 11-man football. And he is extremely knowledgeable. He's a great guy. He's as high quality as you could find anywhere. And I will assure you, offensive, defensively, they'll be prepared to play. Now, they lost some athletes this year. Of course, they lost to graduation. But they lost again right before school started. They had some kids move. This is the second year in a row they've been hit by this. And it's really working against them, and it's weakened them. But offensively, they are exactly they're very similar to Coach McCabe's group at John Paul II. They take care of business. They're going to get in a formation, and they're going to run the ball at you. They're going to throw when you open yourself up. They're going to hit you with a play action. But mostly they're just going to run. They're going to eat clock time, and they're going to try to consistently keep the ball on the ground. They don't ever want to face a second and 10 because of an incomplete pass. They're going to just keep poking and hitting and banging and hoping something will work. And I think we're more talented. But I'm going to tell you what, that's a great formula. And that's a formula that, and there are some other ways you can beat somebody that's better than you, but I think that's a great way to stay in the game until the end. So I look for this game to go all the way. It's going to be a 4-quarter game. We haven't had one of those lately. We haven't played a second half in regular clock time in a long time. It's been running clock. But we're gonna get tested. We'll find out if we're in shape Friday night because this is going to go all the way to the end.
What sticks out for you defensively about them?
The fact that they gamble, the fact that they're going to attack you. They actually give you a chance to make a big play, but you've got to pretty much wade through a pretty violent assault to get to that weakness. And that'll be our plan. We'll try to figure out where the attacks, where the blitz, and where the tight coverage is going to be, and try to take advantage of that before we call the snap. The one thing I would add about this game is, in the last 3 weeks, unfortunately, we've gotten kind of lazy. We've not taken near enough care with our techniques, with our base coaching things, because we didn't have to. The coaches can harp on it, but a player knew that if he went in the game and stepped to the wrong foot, or did it incorrectly, or had 2 steps in place of 1, because of the other team's talent level, the night would be very forgiving. He could still get a good play. He might still get a great play. That's over. It's over this Friday night, and it's certainly over in the playoffs. From now on, we've got to bear down, and we've got to get back to good football, great technique, doing things the right way. You mentioned my shoes. You said my shoes were old. These are my campaign shoes. These are the shoes I normally wear during 2-a-days when we're working on technique. And I put them on today as a mental reminder for me and the athletes that today out on the field, we're working on doing things not right, but exactly right. Step with the correct foot, attack with the correct shoulder. Make sure that either you block down or you block out and you don't get that crossed up. Make sure if you're supposed to pull, you're not only pulling, but you're pulling with the correct foot. Defensively, you've got your shoulders and your toes pointed in the right spot. You're either, if you're supposed to be inside shade, you're not on the outside of the man, you're inside. Do it right and get it done right, because that's what wins ball games.
Russ Roberts. If Faith Academy can beat Central Texas Christian, they will finish the regular season undefeated for the second consecutive year. How important is that to the players? Senior lineman Jake Faraday tells us.
It'll mean a lot, just because I know a ton of people doubted us this year because we lost basically our entire backfield besides Austin. And it'll just mean a lot, not only to the team, but just to be able to prove everyone else that we are good enough and better than the seniors last year.
You were on the team last year?
Yes, ma'am.
Been playing for the last 3 years?
Just the last two. Last year was my first year.
Okay. What made you decide to come out for football?
Well, I had lived in Florida beforehand and then came out here, and my other fellow lineman, Cole Madigan, actually has been my friend from back when we were in elementary school, and he decided to get me to come out here to Faith and decided to join the football team because I played football at my old school.
Settle the debate then.
Yeah.
Who has the better football? High school football, Florida or Texas?
I'm going to say Texas.
Why?
Texas. Just because I feel like we have a lot more camaraderie and brotherhood, and it's just a lot more group feeling. Florida, it almost felt like everyone was playing for themselves. That's
an interesting reason. I wasn't sure what to expect from you, but I appreciate your honesty. Y'all have a big game on Friday night against Temple Central Texas Christian. This is two teams undefeated playing for the district championship. People talk all the time about wanting a game of significance to end the regular season. You're going to get one. What does it take in your mind, what does Jake Faraday have to do to help the Flames be successful?
Give it 100% on every play, even if I'm tired, not take a play off, because at the end of the day, I'm going to be pretty upset if we end up losing or it's even a somewhat close game, just because I'll know that I didn't give it 100% on every play if I don't.